Hello everybody, welcome to Creative Originals by Roxine. The materials that you will be needing today are a wood burning tool, stencils of your choice, your practice piece of wood, pencil, eraser, and masking tape. We're going to begin by talking about the blocks. These particular coasters I've got at Hobby Lobby. And they're a pine and fairly soft wood and easy to burn. The only thing about these particular type of coasters, they can have flaws, so we need to be careful when we decide which ones we want to use. You'll have to definitely sand them. I recommend a fine grit, a 180 to a 320 type of grit sandpaper, either flat sandpaper or a sanding block. That's fine. At least 2 of the blocks in this package were damaged, and I had to do quite a bit of sanding. You want your top where you're going to be putting your stencil nice and smooth. You can see on this one, it's very rough, and also has a knot in it, and that knot will actually leak sap, and that can mess up your burn. The stencils, the 2 that I'm going to use came in a set, and they're a folk art type of floral stencil. They're a little big for the top of this block, but that's okay. You can use any type of stencil you want. Here you can see stars, circles, designs, geometric shapes, whatever. Just center your stencil. If you're using a big enough piece of practice block, go ahead and tape it down. What I'm going to do is just center the stencil and hold it down, and then I'm going to lightly trace with a sharp pencil. You want to be sure that you don't press too hard on pine wood, because it will leave an indentation, and you may not like that look, when you are finished burning. So we'll just kind of speed the video up here a little bit, and we're going to go ahead and trace this and then come back. Oops, I made just a little mistake. I'm going to put it back on there and just straighten it up here, see if I can correct the little spot that I missed. There we go, got that? All right, and then I'll just zoom in here so that you can kind of see the pencil lines on this. There you go, that's better. So to have everything all outlined lightly so that you're ready to start doing your work. This is going to be a pretty design on top of here. I have 2 types of burners. I have the Optima 1 Dual, and I have the Colwell Super Pro 2. The black pen is the Colwood, and then the blue is the Optima 1 Dual. I believe I'm going to use the blue pen today. I actually like the modified writing tip on it. This particular pen that I'm pointing to right now, I'm using a B1 removable tip in it, and it has a little soldered or welded ball on the end of the writing tip. It's the smallest one, a B1. I like it, but I do think the Optima 1 has a much smoother glide, so I think we're going to use the Optima 1 instead. Now, I have my temperature at about a 3, and remember, this is pine, So do a quick little test here. If you have a little scrap piece of wood, test on it first. Pine burns very quickly and easily. So I think a 3 with this modified pen writing tip is about what I need. Very gently just follow all the lines on your stencil, and it can be whatever stencil you wanted to use, whatever type of wood you're using. Just test your heat on the same type of wood. So we're going to continue walking around the entire stencil. I want you to outline whatever you traced onto your practice piece, and then just take your time with it. Just stay right on the line, the pencil line. That doesn't matter at this point because we're going to darken all of these designs in. We'll speed this up so it goes a little faster for you. There you go, all outlined. I will zoom in there so you can see that a little bit better. That looks good. I like that. And then what we're going to do is go back and we're going to fill in all these outline designs. Now, if you burn too hot, you're going to get a few little indentions or little dots in your outline. Don't worry too much about that because the pine is such a soft wood that those are going to disappear when we fill all that in. It's looking pretty good. We'll move on to the next step. Okay, now on the back, what we're going to do is add the initials. So I'm going to put Creative Originals by Roxine, C-O-V-R, on the back side of the block. And I'm going to use a stencil with letters. So first I'm going to find my center. You can do that by just drawing an X. I measured it out and put a dot. When you're using stencils with the letters, the stencils have little pieces of plastic that tend to hold the center areas of some of the letters, like B and R and D and 0 or O, those type of letters, P, Q. So what we have to do, we're going to trace the outline of the letter that we're going to burn. And then those little plastic tags that are holding the center of the 0, as you can see, those we're just going to forget they're there. And when we remove the stencil after tracing, we're going to go back in and we're going to connect the two sides of the O. So you need to do that on your B and your R. The C, we don't need to worry about that. So whatever letters you're using, you just want to be sure that you're going to collect all the spots and have a little dividing piece of vinyl. This way the letter doesn't look like it's stenciled. It looks like it's actually written that way. Next we'll move on to our B and our R. Here we go. Let's speed the film up just a little bit so we can go a little quicker. You can see how I'm joining that. And our R, the R is going to hang off the edge a little. That's okay. Some of the design hangs off the edge on the front. And this is just a little tutorial to teach you how to do it. It's okay. There you go, C-O-V-R. And we've got the front burned, and now we need to burn the outlines on the back. That's the next step. I've decided to use my Colwood Super Pro 2 burner, and I have the B1 tip. I'm going to speed this up just to save us some time. I'm running out of time here a little bit on my film. And I need to turn the setting up a little bit higher on my Colwood for this particular tip. This works well. It's not quite as smooth as the 9M modified writing tip on the Optima 1. There you go. We have all the letters outlined. So our next step is shading in. And I think we'll just shade in the back letters for right now. I'm going to use a shading tip on my Optima 1 burner. And I may use the J tip later on my Colwood for my last letter just to kind of compare. This one is a little more triangular shaped and it gets down into some little crevices a little bit better than the round one does. So I like that. So all these companies do have different shaped tips. You just have to pick what works best for you with whatever you're doing. So we're going to outline, we're going to shade in beginning with the R. And I have a setting of about 4 right now because I want it to burn a little dark. Let's just see how that does. Gentle back and forth movements, and remember, if you go with the grain of the wood, it burns better. When you go against the grain, sometimes you can have little ripples and you have to go back over it again. So try to go with the grain as much as possible with your shading and see if that helps you. Hey, that's looking pretty good. We're going to follow that side of the R all the way around. Nice and smooth. We like that. Thank you all for watching my videos. Give me a thumbs up. Please leave comments. I like suggestions. Please subscribe to my channel if you haven't. Share my channel with others. I plan on doing quite a few wood burning and ink drawing type of films in the future. Now we're using the J tip, and you can kind of see it tends to burn a little darker. That's looking really well. And then just kind of go back in and touch up a few places and straighten it up a little bit. Sometimes it gets just a little crooked. And there you go. It's beginning to look really nice. There you go. Not bad. Stay tuned for part 2 where we shade in the front side. Thank you all for watching. Now go out and make it a great day. Bye-bye.